Are you going to watch episode 3 or just stand there and bleed?
Welcome to Boomer Bongo Boulevard, Season 3, Episode 333. I'm Mike, along with me is my brother, Ron, just Ron. We talk about boomer stuff, and Ron, tonight we're going to talk about we're doing a tribute to maybe the ultimate boomer actor, Kurt Russell. What do you got on
He's
Kurt
my
Russell
favorite.
as we bow down because we're not worthy as we talk about Kurt Russell? What do you got on him?
Well, I was looking up some of his stuff and a lot of things that kind of, hit me as I was going, because he's done so much stuff because he started out. Funny thing was, first thing he ever did was it happened at the World's Fair with the one and only Elvis. That was like his debut acting right there. And
he was uncredited.
And funny thing, he later on played Elvis in 1979 and got his, as far as I know, only award nomination, which was an Emmy for Best Leading Actor in a Miniseries or TV movie.
He didn't win.
And he later played Elvis, or a guy dressing as Elvis again, and I believe it was 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Yeah.
But he always does a good job at that. I mean, I thought he was a great Elvis.
Well, he surprised me, and I think he surprised a lot of other people. And what really amazes me is the lack of recognition afterward. He just, and I guess he if anybody doesn't care, it's probably Kurt Russell about getting nominated for Oscars and Emmys. But if there's anybody who's ever been overlooked as a regular nominee for Oscars and Emmys, because he does some good television work too.
He's so good.
Yeah. He's got a big range. He can play Elvis Presley. He can play a cowboy. He's great in horror movies. He's great in comedies. He stays within himself. He's one of the few actors I know who changes his facial hair regularly, and none of it bothers me. I don't find myself sitting there half the movie going, "What happened to his mustache?" Or sitting there half the movie going, "Why did he grow a mustache?" He's just, you see right through that. It's just I don't know. He has a versatility that's difficult to find. He can even play soft guys. When he was younger, and he was in the Disney movies. He had a 10-year contract with Disney that did the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes back in the 60s. And what was his other Disney movie? I've got a note here.
I'm glad you brought that up because I found something kind of interesting about that. All those Disney movies between the live action ones between 61 and like 75, which he wasn't in all of those. But it was almost like they had kind of like their own little universe because all of them were centered around this fictional Medfield College.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of the same people. And I know that actor, Joe Flynn, the old guy that slicked down black hair and the horn-rimmed black glasses.
McHale's Navy.
Also in McHale's Navy, yeah. And he was the dean, and he was like in all those movies, the first of which was the Absent-Minded Professor,
right,
with Fred McMurray. And then there was Son of Flubber. And then in 1969, the first Kurt Russell one at the same university with his usual character, Dexter Riley, was the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
He plays a guy named Dexter, and he does it well.
Dexter
Riley.
Then
he plays Wyatt Earp in Tombstone, and he does it well. And he plays the lead character in Used Cars, who's just this silly guy who, by the way, Used Cars was Weekend at Bernie's before there was a Weekend at Bernie's.
One of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life.
And he just shifts back and forth seamlessly. He recently played Santa Claus in the Santa Chronicles in 2018, for goodness sake, without missing a step. it's just fun to watch him work.
He was a villain in a Marvel movie. He was Ego the Living Planet.
Hmm. Oh, that's right. That's right. That was in the
Yeah.
what was that? The group
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians
Part
of the
2.
Galaxy. Yeah.
Brandy,
And
you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be.
he just hey Ron, I tell you, I was looking over some things. He his career at this point is at 56 years. That's just
Yeah.
the length of his career and counting. And I really can't think of any other actors that have
Nobody.
stayed as busy as he has for an entire
Other than
career.
Clint, maybe. Clint Eastwood over the same amount of time.
Clint Eastwood.
They're my two favorites, him and Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood.
That's true. Clint Eastwood's certainly done it and stays busy and can get a project going tomorrow, even at his advanced stage. And Clint Eastwood, though, didn't have the breadth because he didn't start as a child actor.
Yes.
Kurt Russell started as a child actor. He could, if he stays healthy, he could easily do another 10 or 15 years. As he's what, 73 now?
Yeah, 73, 74, something like that.
You know, I guess in pretty good health. And I hope he's in good
his
health.
birthday is coming up. St. Patrick's Day is
March.
his birthday.
Yeah.
In 1951. So yeah,
He'll
be
he wears the
75
green?
on St. Patrick's Day.
Hey Ron, you mentioned Elvis, and he's done some great television work, and Elvis was a television movie.
Yes.
You remember in 2004, one of the most enjoyable movies I've ever seen is Miracle, where he played the coach of the U.S. hockey team.
Hockey team, yeah.
And that was a takeoff on the of the announcer of the game, Al Michaels. I think it was Al Michaels. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. Yeah. And then the Miracle movie, and he did an outstanding job there. And he was playing just a real hard-nosed guy that didn't seem to have a soft side there, and he almost a villain-like character, except at the end he's revealed not to be such a villain after all. He was just after the right result from his team. We talked, I think, last week about Bone Tomahawk, which is a fairly recent movie that he did, and 12:15. I'm 12:15 back in the days of the ancient historical chronicles.
That is a disturbing movie, man.
2015. Ronald, that movie is such a horror movie. I don't think I could ever watch it again.
I don't want to watch it again. It was horrific.
And
it was,
but a really scary, great, frightening Western / horror movie. And the guy does romantic comedies.
Mm-hmm.
He does romantic comedies, not many, but Overboard, which he did with Goldie Hawn, his longtime live-in wife.
43 years they've been together.
Yeah, without, I don't even know
I'd say they're committed.
Mate. He's like Tarzan. She's his mate. They just
when are you kids going to settle down? It's been 43 years.
They just swung on a vine together and called it a ceremony, and that was it. What else you got on Kurt Russell?
I wrote down some of my favorite movies of his, and I made a list. I whittled it down to 3. My 3 favorite Kurt Russell movies.
Okay.
And I think my number 1 is probably number 1 straight up for a lot of people, just straight up movie, and that would be Tombstone.
Yeah.
That's just my favorite of his.
A lot of guys.
And number 2, I got to throw in a little curveball here, Used Cars.
Yeah. I'm still with you.
So funny, and it kind of got him out of that Disney mold, and and really got him going where he is now. And then here's another one. It's a sports oriented one. Not the greatest movie in the world, but I like it. It's a lot of fun. It makes me laugh, and I enjoy it every time I watch it. The Best of Times.
Yeah.
with him
Yeah,
and Robin Williams.
yeah. Kurt Russell and Robin Williams.
He's wearing the shoes. And saying I got my Joe Namath jersey on, he's wearing the shoes, the white shoes. And he wore 12, of course.
It's pretty hard though not to because we said he's done all kinds of movies. He's done science fiction, and I think maybe his best science fiction movie was Escape from New York.
Oh, yeah.
Snake Plissken. I heard you were dead. He's even got a catchphrase, a movie with a catchphrase. And that was what, in 1981? And I've seen that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Escape from New York as many times as I've seen Tombstone. But
Yeah.
I bet I've seen it 10 times. And it's worth it.
Yeah.
Just the way it's a great movie to just skip into somewhere in the middle and watch for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest Borgnine's in it.
And one of the greatest endings of all time.
It is. It is. With who else's greatest ending has a cassette tape in it? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know that. He immortalized. I'm not even sure you can redo that movie without a cassette tape. If they were ever going to do a remake.
This. In the movie The Best of Times, it's got one of my favorite lines I've heard, and just kind of because it was so surprising and funny at the same time. It's there in the movie that he and Robin Williams have been kicked out by their wives, and they're trying to kind of woo them back, and they've invited them over for dinner on the condition that they not talk about sports.
Right.
Okay. So, and one of the wives says, what do you think about, they're trying to talk about something. Well, how about world events? Yeah, let's talk about world events. Well, what do you think about Beirut? And Kurt Russell goes, damn baseball play I ever saw. And I've always wondered if he didn't just do that off the top of his head, because that kind of sounds like something somebody would have done off the top of their head. Beirut, best damn baseball play I ever saw.
We haven't even. There's so much to talk about when you talk about Kurt Russell. Number one is his. We've already mentioned his lack of recognition by Oscars and Emmys. And he's got a couple of nominations, but nothing serious. Even though with that kind of range, I don't know how you don't consider him every time he does an acting job. Yeah. But what he was a professional athlete. He wanted to be a professional baseball player. Played A-ball for a couple of years and had just moved up to Double-A when he got a shoulder injury. He was a shortstop, I believe, and I know he was a switch hitter. And later on, got together with his dad and put together a minor league baseball team that they've done a documentary on, and he was promoting that a few years ago. I mean, there's so many sides to him. He's not very political, but he will state that he's in favor of Second Amendment. He's a big Second Amendment proponent as far as his actions. He doesn't talk about it a lot, but his actions show that he's a Second Amendment proponent. So I would not want to argue with him about anything political, because I bet behind the scenes his political stances are staunch, whatever they are. He doesn't really believe in actors.
He just comes off that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows what he knows, and he thinks what he thinks. And if you don't agree with him, I expect you're just going to have to not agree with him, because it's not going to work out.
We were talking about how he's never gotten the acclaim or the awards. He's almost like the Drew Brees of acting.
That's true.
A guy that came out and passes for 5,000 yards every year and never gets MVP and never get
That's
they
true.
just go, we'll give it to him another time. He's always going to be good. He's gone.
There'll be a movie. I'm looking over. I don't want to overlook one of his huge movies, but he's got so many. It's pretty easy to do. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was a 2019 movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie. I love that movie.
Very acclaimed movie, and he's doing a television series now called, and I have not seen this because it's on a.
Well, it hadn't come on yet.
This Monarch.
Him and Michelle Pfeiffer. It's going to be whatever continuation of Yellowstone
No,
somehow.
I'm talking about Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Have you heard of that?
Oh, I hadn't heard of that.
That's it's on a streaming service that I don't subscribe to, but they've done a season of it. His son plays in it with him, and it's his son play. It covers a long period of time, and his son plays. He and his son play the same character. His son plays the character when he's younger, and Kurt plays the character when he's older. And I think they switch back and forth. But it's part of the what's the big giant Godzilla? It's part of the Godzilla movies. It's not a movie, but a television series based on the Godzilla legend. Sounded pretty interesting, but I'm thinking, but that's in production now. And he's already got a season under his belt. So right up until today, Kurt Russell is working and he's doing interesting things. And once again, he's in the area of science fiction, even though to me, he's a Western star more than anything else. Those are the movies I noticed.
He's just done it all.
He
really has.
He's and I don't know. I just once again just not worthy. Hey, you got any last thoughts on Kurt Russell? I mean, I thought you were going to get Kurt Russell in here so we could interview him, but I guess you fell down on the job on that one.
I did. I blew that one, but
you got Kurt was too busy.
Maybe next time, huh?
Yeah. Well, if he sees this, maybe
Kurt was, doing another TV series that he was shooting, probably gonna, be out next week or something.
Maybe his people will call your people, and we can set the whole thing up. Maybe Goldie will step in for a few minutes and say something, and
you never know.
And we'll get 300 or 400. By the way, we have 100 and around 120, 125 subscribers, and
122.
If a couple of folks would,
we lost a couple while the algorithms were being swapped around, but hey, that happens.
Hey, they're trying to do us in, but it won't work. We're going to stick it to the man.
It won't work. We're steadfast.
Hey, Ron, I'm gonna just put out a song of the week. I rediscovered this past week accidentally. You know how you do when you get in YouTube and you go from one thing to another. But it's a song written and originally performed by Billy Joe Shaver and was taken to number 4 on the country music charts in 1981 by none other than the almost forgotten John Anderson. And it's called I'm Just an Old Chunk of Coal. You ever heard that one? I'm just an old chunk of coal.
Yep.
But I'm going to be a diamond one day. And that's what we are. We're just an old chunk of YouTube coal, but we're going to be a diamond one day. And if we're not a diamond, we're not too bad. You can burn that coal and stay warm in the winter here in February. What else you got? I guess we'll put together another show next week and kind of get on a regular rhythm here. We're looking forward to that. And we may do another tribute next week to another actor. I kind of like asking people to revisit. If you're going to
I can think of several.
Well, if you're going to pick one, just to end with, if you're going to pick one Kurt Russell movie that you think everybody ought to see, what do you think it should be?
Oh, shoot. If they had never seen this one we hadn't talked about, it's a great movie. If they've never seen The Thing, that's a pretty damn good movie.
John Carpenter directed that. Yeah, that is a great one.
Yep. Who also directed him in Escape from New York. He's got kind of a collaboration with John Carpenter over the years.
Well, he worked with John Carpenter when he was real young as well.
That is a great movie.
The one I would recommend, which a lot of folks may not have seen, is and it's out there floating around and streaming, is Elvis from 1979. It was a made-for-TV movie, and he'll knock your eyes out. You'll think you're watching a documentary. Yeah. You'll think you're watching a documentary in no time at all. You'll forget it's a movie, and that's how well he sells Elvis. Without a ton of makeup, by the way. He does it with acting ability. Kurt Russell, our tribute to him. We're not worthy, Ron. We're just not worthy. I'm Mike Just Mike. Along with me is Ron Just Ron. And that's it for Boomer Bongo Boulevard.